High atop Olympus, the gods are screaming. Zeus holds a golden chalice, but his hand is shaking. He isn't afraid of a titan or a monster. He is afraid of a river, the Styx. It is the river of hate. But for the gods, it is the river of law. If a god lies, they are forced to drink its blackened water. The result? A year of breathless paralysis, 9 years of exile. Even for the immortal, the Styx is a temporary death. But for you, for a mortal, the Styx is the skin of the world. It circles the underworld 7 times, a coil of hatred that binds the living and the dead. To touch it is to be baptized in pure, unadulterated loathing. It's the river that made Achilles invincible, yet it left him with a heel that rotted with mortality. The paradox is simple: to be protected by the Styx, you must be touched by the very thing that wants to destroy you. The promise is this: if you survive the crossing, you might gain the power of a god, but you will carry the stench of the dead in your marrow forever.
Unveil the legends.
Imagine the underworld not as a cave, but as a digestive system. Before the chaos, there was order. Hades, the silent, brooding CEO of the Afterlife, didn't build a torture chamber. He built a machine designed to process the massive, overflowing influx of human consciousness. The shades, the ghosts, arrive at the shore. They are frantic. They are confused. They still feel the phantom pains of the spear that killed them, or the fever that took their breath. This is the status quo of the dead, a state of perpetual, agonizing memory. Hades knew that if the dead remembered their lives too vividly, they would rebel. They would storm the gates. They would scream for the sun. To prevent a revolution of the ghosts, he needed a filtration system. He needed the rivers. Each river serves a psychological function. They are the guards that don't need spears. They work from the inside out. They target your mind. They target your heart. They target your very identity. You've crossed the Styx. You've paid the coin. Now, the real trial begins. You find yourself at a fork in the dark. To your left, a river wails. This is Acheron, the river of woe. It doesn't just flow. It moans. It is fed by the tears of those who lived lives of mediocrity and wasted potential. If you drink from Acheron, your lungs fill with the literal weight of sadness. You don't drown in water. You drown in regret. Every I should have and I could have becomes a physical pressure in your chest. The sound of the river is the sound of a billion voices saying goodbye at once. Further down, the air turns hot. You smell burning sulfur and charred hair. Phlegethon, the river of fire. It doesn't consume, it preserves. This is a river used to punish the violent. It is a stream of liquid flame that boils the soul, but never lets it die. If you drink this, your internal organs become molten lead. You become a living torch, a pillar of agony that illuminates the darkness for the other shades. Why would someone drink this? They don't. They are thrown in. Then there is Cocytus, the river of lamentation. It is the opposite of Phlegethon. It is stagnant. It is freezing. It is the destination for those who committed crimes of betrayal. To drink from Cocytus is to feel your blood turn to slush. It is the ultimate isolation. You aren't just cold. You are forgotten. Now, we hit the twist. There is a fourth river. It looks the most inviting. It is calm. It is crystal clear. It sparkles in the gloom. This is Lethe, the river of forgetfulness. Most stories tell you that. Drinking from Lethe is a mercy. The gods offer it to the weary so they can find peace. Drink. and the pain of your death vanishes. Drink, and the face of the wife you left behind blurs into nothing. But here is the dark theory: Lethe isn't a gift. It's a soul-harvesting tool. If you drink from Lethe, you lose yourself. You become a shade, a hollowed-out husk with no story, no will, and no spark. You are no longer a person. You are a battery for the underworld. By drinking, you surrender the only thing you truly owned: your history. The Orphic Mysteries warned the initiated. Do not drink from the fountain on the left. Find the lake of memory on the right. The establishment wants you to forget, because a man who remembers is a man who can fight back. Lethe is the ultimate lobotomy. It is the kindness of the tyrant. The final river is the one you never hear about: Mnemosyne, the river of memory. It is the rarest spring. It is guarded by the select few who understood the secret of the geography. The irony is staggering. To find peace in the underworld, you must choose the river that brings the most pain. By drinking from Mnemosyne, you remember everything. You remember the betrayal. You remember the fire. You remember the woe. But in remembering, you remain intact. You become a hero in a land of shadows. The rivers are a mirror. If you are a violent man, the Phlegethon will claim you. If you are a sad man, the Acheron will pull you under. If you are a weak man, the Lethe will erase you. The geography of the underworld isn't a map of a place. It's a map of the human psyche. We are already drinking these rivers every day. We drown in our woe. We burn in our anger, and we desperately try to forget our mistakes. Hades just made it official. In the end, the rivers don't change who you are. They just reveal what you've always been. You survived the 5 rivers. You kept your memories. You stood on the shore of the black water and didn't blink. But even if you master the rivers, there is one thing you can never master: the one who waits at the center, the God who doesn't need a river to break you. Do you think you could look into the eyes of the Lord of the dead and not lose your mind? Tell me in the comments. If you had to drink from one river, just one, to survive the afterlife, would you choose the fire that burns or the water that erases? The choice defines your soul. But if you think these waters are treacherous, wait until you see the map of the Norse afterlife. Because in Helheim, the water doesn't just take your memory, it takes your flesh. And there's a bridge there made of gold that hums with the sound of 1,000 screaming wolves.